Big news, huge news, and it has nothing to do with the price of Bitcoin. Hello and welcome back to the weekly crypto review. So, big news, huge news, and let's just get right to it. First off, I want to point out that I've got a link down in the description to the Brave browser. If you download the Brave browser and you use it for 30 days, I get some back from them. You get a great browser that takes care of your privacy and allows you to use crypto. Fantastic deal. All right, so what's the news? Kraken is now a bank. And I know what you're going to say. We hate banks. I understand that. And for the most part, you're right. We hate banks. The difference is Kraken is a bank that is registered in the state of Wyoming. Wyoming being the first and I think the only state to actually put real, solid, usable regulations around crypto. Thanks to Caitlin Long and the work that she's done. And so now Kraken is a bank. What that means is, if I read this article, this blog post correctly, what that means is that at some point in the future, not necessarily starting out, but in the future, what you should be able to do is take money. If you've got a Kraken account, certainly if you've got a Kraken bank account, you should be able to put, for example, your paycheck into the Kraken bank, and then you should be able to take money straight from that account and put it directly into your Kraken exchange wallet. No more waiting a week for money to appear because it goes from their bank to their exchange. Should be instantaneous, which means that you have the ability to, as an on-ramp, immediately buy crypto with your fiat currency. That, if nothing else, is an amazing achievement. There are other things that this goes on to talk about and to explain, and I will put a link in the description so that you can look at their blog post and read through it and find out exactly what's going on. But yeah, this is killer news. This is fantastic. I'm obviously speechless, waiting to see how long it takes for other exchanges to follow suit. And the thing of it is that Kraken's obviously been doing this for a while, because getting a banking license, there are massive hoops to jump through. They've been working on this for probably a year or more. So they've got a head start of probably a year or more on every other exchange. All right, so what do we got for pricing? Well, standard stuff. We are at just below, at this point, just below $11,000 on Bitcoin. Fantastic. Glad to see it going back up. Ethereum, just below $400. Fantastic. And again, 7 days, we're on Bitcoin, we're up 6.33%. On Ethereum, we're up almost just under 5% for the week. Polkadot, number 5. $5.24 a dot. It's up 17.5% over the last week. This one just shot right into the top 10. I don't own Polkadot. I still haven't really looked at it. I need to look at it a little closer. Bitcoin Cash, don't care. Binance Coin, don't care. Chainlink, wow. So we're at 1073. So we're half of what we were at its peak. At its peak, Chainlink was about $20. And yes, I do own Chainlink. Down 13.66% this week. Chainlink's finding hard times at this point. It is extremely volatile, which is one of the reasons why I like it. It's hugely volatile, which means that it tends to go way up, and it also tends to drop way down. Traders love volatility because it's where they can make the most money. I don't necessarily consider myself a trader, but volatility and being able to trade a little bit, yeah, absolutely. Sure, why not? Litecoin up 0.23% for the week. Yeah, okay. Bitcoin SV, don't care. Cardano, number 11, dropped to number 11, and it is down 2.3% for the week. It is at just over, it's 9.25 cents. I've already got all I plan to put into Cardano at this point, But if I didn't, this is where I would be buying the dip. Absolutely. EOS 273, it's down to 2%. What else we got? Neo up 31% over the last week. Not bad. Monero up almost 11% over the last week. Stellar down 2.3%. Okay, so we've got a mixed bag of coins. Most of them not really going too far any direction, but Bitcoin's starting to head up. And that tells me that we should be seeing some green here fairly soon with these coins. And a lot of these coins that are red for 7 days, they're up over the last 24 hours. So we get a lot of green over the last 24. So that tells me we have a good chance that these are going to continue up. All right, so let's take a look at some price action. So we're looking at the weekly chart, and this is Bitcoin. And you'll notice that for this week, we are green. We are at $10,964. So we're just below the $11,000. That 11,000 is a pretty big even. Last week, we dropped below the 10.5, which was supposed to be support. Actually, I guess the week before we dropped below, and then we started working our way up. This was the big drop we saw in the markets 2 weeks ago. Last week we started to work our way up, but didn't have a whole lot of volume, so it didn't go very far. This week we're going up a little higher, so I think we're well above that 10.5, which is this blue line here. So I think we have a good chance of coming back. If we come back down, I think we have a good chance of coming back down to it and using it as support. I don't know how long we're going to go sideways. I really don't. If we look at the daily, you can see how we've been going just below this 10.5, and we just went above it. So we've been going sideways for a couple of weeks, literally a couple of weeks now. Okay, why not? I don't know. If we take a look and put on some Bollinger Bands here, what we see here is we see them narrowing right here, looking for a move. Well, again, Bollinger Bands don't tell you which direction it's going to move. They just tell you it's going to move. We've widened back out here. We were wide over here. Even though we were going sideways, we were quite wide. Then we narrowed down and looking for a big move. Got that big move. It was the wrong direction. Now we're going back and we're coming back up, but we are nice and wide on the Bollinger Band. So I don't see that as being a significant move. I don't see any significant moves coming quickly. We'll just have to ride it out and see what comes. As simple as that. Let's see here. If we go let's go to Cardano, ADA. All right, so the weekly chart. So we had, I was expecting support down here at 9 cents, and as you can see, we're a little bit below that. I'll pull this out and bring this out a little bit more. So we're a little below that, but right around it. I'm not all that concerned about it. I think we're doing fine. We're consolidating. Not an issue. Really not an issue. This is what happens in every market. You go up, you drop back down. Either direction, you make a big move, you tend to consolidate. And so that's what we're doing. We're resting, waiting for the next leg. Well, I suspect the next leg is going to be up. Again, as always, none of this is financial advice. None of this is investing advice. I'm simply looking at charts and saying, here's what I see. Right now, we've got low volume, not a whole lot of people trading in Cardano. I think what's happening is a bunch of people went into Cardano back here in June, expecting Shelley to come out and looking for staking money, and so they did. And of course, as soon as we get Shelley out and the first stake pools, I think potentially some of the problems may have been that people didn't understand that you had to stake your ADA for some time before you saw any of the returns. That may have been confusing to people, but then we start dropping back down. So all of the weak hands dropped out, the strong hands remain, and we're good with that. No worries. Let's go back down here to Chainlink. So what do we got here? So we're on the weekly chart for Chainlink, and one thing I want you to notice, I've got these two lines, the green line and the red line. This is my bubble pop indicator. As we get into next year, especially next year, and we start seeing the cryptocurrencies going into bubbles, I'm going to be referring more and more to this bubble pop indicator because it's going to tell me where the top is. But I want you to see how narrow these lines are. This indicator, what happens is when the green crosses over the red, we're the bubble's going to pop. And that's exactly what it tells me. And I want you to see how much of a bubble Chainlink was in. It was in a huge bubble, way over. And if we look at the RSI, way overbought. Okay, well, we're just now coming back down, so we're at about midway, 50%, 50.7, 51.27. So yeah, we're just midway now at $10.68. That's still higher than it was back here before the big rise happened. So we've come up to about where we should be. We're about, $10, $10.50. I'm going to call, based on the RSI, I'm going to call this a price that is right about correct value for now. For now. The thing about the RSI is if you maintain price, the RSI tends to change where it decides over and under values are. So I'm going to keep a close eye on the RSI and see where it goes. Again, this is not investment advice, but if you're looking to get into Chainlink, this is a fantastic, from my point of view, this would be a perfect opportunity. I bought into Chainlink at, I want to say it was about $12. Not unhappy that it's dropped $2 since then, but I definitely bought the dip on this because, yeah, what half price Chainlink, and now we have a higher high, much higher high. We have double. Our high is double what we currently are. What does that tell you that the chances of it doing in the next year and 2-3 months is? Yeah, I think it's going to go way up. So I absolutely bought the dip. Why not? So yeah, we're looking at some really good stuff. It's nothing major going on. We're recovering from the big drop we had a couple of weeks ago. Kraken is a bank. Fantastic. Looking forward to seeing what exact services they offer. And that's about it. So until next week, remember, don't trust, verify.